Ladies and gentlemen, today has yet again been another crazy day for crypto. I think every one of you has already seen the crazy prices, but still, I think it is worth another update because I think the worst day for the stock market since the whole COVID thing was somewhere in 2022, where I think the S&P went down 4.3 or maybe 3.4% or so. No, 4 point something percent, which was absolutely crazy. Yesterday, though, obviously was also one of the craziest days in a while. And I was going to set up here to do some recording outside, but it is so crazy hot that I don't think it's going to be possible. Everything I try to cook up here just gets overcooked, you know, like freaking steak, completely black, which in this case is not what I want. Anyway, so right now, I'm just going to quickly walk to my laptop and show you guys a little bit of what's going on because it is absolutely crazy right now. And I want you guys to see. So I've got a laptop in front of me and I'll tell you guys a little bit of a story. So first of all, and I already know you're not going to be able to see these things perfectly, but I think it's about the idea that counts in this instance here, which is that crypto prices are going down a lot. But matter of fact, you know, in my opinion, they've not done as bad. I mean, $62,000 per Bitcoin right now, still $3,000 per Ethereum. It could have been, quote unquote, way worse. I mean, Solana is at 150. So following a weekly perspective, etc., yes, we've seen better times, but it's manageable, especially considering that the ETFs also had such crazy outflows. You can't perfectly see probably. Let me quickly refresh. Oh, the last day's already here. But it's $240 million worth of outflows yesterday, which is pretty significant. BlackRock still saw inflows, but overall, we have been seeing some outflows right here. I got a call in the midst. I don't know if you guys actually hear that. I hope not. Anyway, so crazy numbers throughout the last couple of weeks. The beginning of July was bad. I'm not so sure why this is refreshing. The middle of July was actually really, really amazing. And at the end of July, again, is not too amazing. But then again, if you do consider what I showed you guys yesterday with regards to Fred and the real-time SOM rule recession indicator, let me just quickly put the laptop down, then things do get a completely different angle. From the perspective of, if Bitcoin right now is seeing outflows, this is the retail getting scared. And perhaps that's partially because of Genesis and things of that nature. I should hold it up probably more. Because, again, what Larry Fink said throughout the last couple of meetings is most likely people will start buying Bitcoin here purely as a hedge against just a complete recession. Right now, recession fears are what's driving the crazy market sell-off. And on Monday, we'll get some more interesting news with regards to that. Obviously, Monday, we'll see how the stock market resumes. Either we go up like crazy again because the recession fear is just a little fad on a Friday crazy boozing. But perhaps it is serious. And I'm not saying the recession is here. I still do not believe it, but the fear can be really high. I personally think a recession could form, but not within the next few months, though. It's going to take longer. But that's, again, mostly from the perspective of how things have been set up. They're doomed to fail, but I guess the one thing that you have to admit there is that a recession never really proved itself. For the most part, there have been so many factors which should have led to a recession a long time back, but didn't. And so at some point, you just kind of get over it and you think, maybe indeed it's not the time, even though it definitely should have been. And right now we're in kind of a situation like that, where a long time back, if you asked me, I would have said, oh, yeah, we're completely doomed. But we kind of survived. And so right now we've kind of gotten over that to a state of, we're in a pretty fine situation, and we could just continue on like the way we're going right now. Anyway, so again, I will be walking back to this laptop here, just quickly showing you guys some of the view. It is really, really nice here. And quickly show you if it is still possible. Here we go. So this is the Fred real-time SOM rule recession indicator. And a lot of people are showing this right now on the YouTubes, I reckon, because, well, whenever there's fear of a recession, which right now we're seeing a very increased number of, people get so fearful that everybody starts looking it up. So I think a lot of people are also on the train of getting views with recession fears. Obviously, stock market's going on. Everybody's looking up, where are things going next? What are the price targets? Are we going down? And that brings up a really funny point about the way I see the crypto market. And that is, again, through a multi-month lens. And so when you're asking me for price targets, I will never tell you, we're going down to this place first before. I don't care about where we're going down to too much. Some of you guys are traders in nature, and you might really care a lot. Sure, I understand. But for me, it's mostly about where we're going to end the year here. That is most important. However low we go down, it's just all, how do you say the best way? It's all just opportunities instead of these bad things. Even Robert Kiyosaki here has just said, the author reveals how to survive the current market crash. expert in investing in finance, Robert Kiyosaki, believes it's time to get richer now. And how does he believe that? He himself said that when the markets are going down, it's when the rich get richer and the poor get poor. And I kind of see this reflect on the Bitcoin ETFs, where a lot of the selling right now, a lot of the participants that are selling off are most likely doing so out of fear, either because of Genesis, payback, the US government movement, things of that nature. Whereas the back end, like Larry Fink's advice is to buy because of a hedge, to buy because it does make sense from a lot of different angles. And I'm seeing the contrast right there. You have to understand, though, that most people are not set to be crazy rich. Many of you guys forget that most people that invest are stupid. And I do not want you guys to be. But the rule is pretty simple. If you, and this I will say again and again and again, if you think that Bitcoin will never go higher than it is today, you're a rich man. Especially if you think it's going to zero, and it does. Why? If you short it with all your capabilities, and you can, because if Bitcoin never goes higher than it is today, you cannot lose, basically, right? If you do it with everything you've got, and be cautious, but I'm just saying as an example, right? This is just as an example, not financial advice. You'll be one of the richest people on earth. If you short it right now, today, and the price only goes down from here, and you start out with a couple $1,000s, for example, I'm not sure, but I think it could be billions at the end, because it's a pretty crazy ride. You know, taking it from $70,000, whatever, all the way down to zero. It's going to do so many minus 99%, perhaps multiple days in a row. Yeah, that is going to be one crazy amount of money you're going to make on that. But the thing is, the main reason most institutions are not doing that, or they are, but then on the side they've got spot to kind of hedge and potentially get some benefits in that position, is because they're never so sure. Many people tell you, oh, Bitcoin's going to zero. He's a Dan Pena, right? That guy's like really famous for saying that. But show me the receipts. And then they say, no, I don't do it that way. Yeah, because you're not that sure, right? Or at least you're not that sure it's going to happen right now. Many of them say, oh, we'll go to zero, but it could take another 5, 10, 20,000 years. I don't know how many years, but it could take a long time. And that's honestly where one of the biggest risks is, that it's going to take too much time, and there's going to be another pump before it happens. I'm trying to escape these little, how do you say them? Crickets, something of the sort. I think I actually could have used this little outside area. I know there's a balcony. There's 2 balconies, actually. This would have been so much better. I'm a little bit darker, but it's nice. This is good. This is good. Anyway, I also saw an XRP report today, and I thought about covering it, but perhaps we'll do so in a different video because it's not so relevant for right now. The only relevant thing you have to understand is, like I just said, that nobody really seems to believe what they say when they say, oh yeah, it's really going to zero. If they were, they would short it like absolutely crazy, but they're not. Don't let those words fool you. Most people are not set to make money because they're too emotional when it comes to trading. Now, yesterday, guys, I'm looking at my positions thinking, damn, right? But the thing is, again, look further. Look a few months in the future. Don't look at what it's going to be tomorrow. Look at what it's going to be over the next few months. That makes everything so much easier. And I will not say believe me, because I'm not your financial advisor. And I don't want you to trust a finance guy when he says, it's going to go up. Because, again, things can happen. But look back at the price history of almost any crypto, right? That's at the top right now. Has it always gone up? Well, again, if you take a rolling period of a few years, yes. What is the downside potential? Well, I'm going to say 80% bear market, or within bull markets, usually like 37% from the top, something like that. So that's the worst that you can be down, which can be a lot if you have positions open, like leverage positions. Anyway, so what is the rolling period of profit usually? And I'm going to say it's almost never been longer than 3 months where you were not able to turn it into a profit if you were buying the dip. So right now, for example, if you were buying at $61,000 and you bought before at 65, there's almost never a rolling period of 3 months or more. I'm going to look these numbers up later though, where you would have not been in profit. So meaning if you now at any point invested and you were always buying the dip, I don't think you could be at a loss for more than 3 months, at least not in a bull market. Even in a bear market, I don't think it's happened because the price went up like 50% or so, even on the way down. And a bear market only lasts about a year. So please understand that right now we're in a bull market because the bull market started November of 2022. It usually lasts about 3 years. We have another year or so to go. So if you are bearish right now, it's completely fine because you're most likely afraid, or you're having different insights than I've got. I'm just looking at the numbers. I'm just looking at the fact that every single time Bitcoin got to this position, it went crazy in the bullish direction. If you disagree though, let me know down in the comments below. Show me the numbers. Show me everything you've got and explain well why this will never go up from here. That's the key point. That's the key point. Show me.